Welcome to Magical Moments HD. Today, we're diving into the thrilling movie Till Death. Buckle up and get ready for an unforgettable ride.
The movie starts with our main character, Emma, meeting a man named Tom in a hotel room. They share a drink, and even though we don't get a lot of backstory, it's clear that Emma is distracted. She tells Tom that they can't see each other anymore. Tom tries to convince her otherwise, but Emma's adamant about having an extramarital affair. As she's walking out, he begs to see her one more time the next day, but Emma tells him that she can't, because it's her anniversary. The next day, she goes to visit her husband, Mark, at his office, where his assistant gives her flowers and wishes her a happy anniversary. When she's entering her husband's office, she comes across a confidential police file detailing the time she was robbed and stabbed in the back years ago. We are then taken to a flashback scene of a failed robbery attempt that ended up injuring the perpetrator in the eye. Emma is interrupted when her husband, Mark, enters the office. We learn that Mark is a big-shot lawyer, and his latest case involves revoking the parole of the man who attacked Emma in the past. Emma asks him if he misses putting people in jail instead of keeping them out. But Mark, who now works as a criminal attorney, says he prefers the money. The two of them take the elevator, when Tom joins them on the next level down. Well, now that we know Tom slept with his boss's wife, and the two of them must act like they don't know each other. Emma and Mark went to a restaurant to celebrate their anniversary. Mark gave Emma a diamond necklace as a gift. Emma had also prepared a gift for Mark, a pair of tickets to the Super Bowl. However, Mark rudely pushed the gift away, commenting that the team playing that year was not good. While at the restaurant, they observed a man proposing to his girlfriend. Emma watched wistfully, reminiscing about the happiness she shared with her husband. Mark then presents her with a necklace, revealing that they have been married for 11 years. After dinner, Mark blindfolds Emma and surprises her by driving to a secluded lake house they used to visit when they were younger. When they arrive, Emma explores the house and discovers a dark room filled with pictures of them together. She plays the turntable and reminisces about the good times they used to have. Emma then follows the rose petals upstairs into the bedroom, where she finds Mark waiting with 2 glasses of champagne. He apologizes sincerely for not being a good husband and expresses his desire to work on fixing things from that moment on. The two then start making love to each other. In the morning, Emma wakes up and finds her husband sits on the bed beside her. She finds her wrist handcuffed to Mark's. Then Mark suddenly points a gun to his head and kills himself. Emma tries screaming for help, but of course, there is no one around.
She tries the phone to call the cops, but it's dead, and she tries shooting the chain with the gun, but there isn't any bullet left. With no other choice, she drags Mark's dead body with her to the walk-in closet and finds her wedding dress hanging there. She takes the dress and we can see that there is a safe behind it. Emma puts the dress under Mark's body to make it easier for her to drag him around, but when she is about to head downstairs, she ungracefully tumbles down with the corpse. Emma then struggles her way into the car with Mark's dead body literally weighing her down. When she tries to start the car, it won't start because the fuel tank is completely empty. Then suddenly, their wedding song starts playing, and a recording of Mark's voice passive-aggressively explains that he did this to her because he found out about her affair with Tom and felt that she was ungrateful. He made sure that she wouldn't be able to live a happy life. Emma goes back into the house to wash the blood off her face, but then realizes that she can't take off the necklace Mark gave her the night before. This frustrates her, until she comes up with another idea. She goes to the basement, thinking she might find some hardware there, but unfortunately, the place has been picked clean. She begins ranting about how Mark was a hypocrite, as he's had his share of affairs with different women too. She recalls the time she washed lipstick and glitter out of his shirt. Frustrated, she drags him back upstairs with all her might and lies on the floor out of exhaustion. Emma then decides to revisit the dark room, and this time, she finds the mugshot of the man who attacked her in the attempted robbery flashback we saw in the beginning. She also finds a record player that says "play me" and decides to play it. She grimly learns that it is a recording of herself being interviewed about the attempted robbery. We learn here that the attacker managed to stab Emma in the back, but she also managed to hurt the man, presumably by stabbing him in the eye. Triggered by her past trauma, Emma is unable to listen to the rest of the recording, so she loses her cool. When Emma returns to the living room, she realizes that someone is outside the door. It turns out to be Tom, the man she had an affair with. Tom tells her that he came rushing to her aid after receiving a series of text messages from her saying that she's in trouble. Obviously, we all know that Emma never sent those texts, Mark did. After noticing what's happening to Emma, Tom tells her that the FBI raided Mark's office and that Mark's entire career was going up in flames. Emma now understands why her husband dared to shoot himself, and she tells Tom that they need to call the police as soon as possible because she is convinced Mark has concocted an elaborate plan to set them up. When Tom goes to get his phone from the car, he sees a truck in the distance heading towards the lake house. Tom, feeling suspicious, decides to go out and instructs Emma not to open the door to anyone but him. The truck pulls up in front of the lake house, and Tom confidently confronts the man who steps out. The man introduces himself as Jimmy and claims he's there to fix a burst pipe. Tom offers to pay him for the job and asks him to leave. When Jimmy is about to leave, another man named Bobby steps out of the vehicle and does this. Tom gets repeatedly stabbed, and the two men break their way in. While Tom is bleeding out on the floor, we learn that Jimmy is compassionate, while his brother Bobby is absolutely cold-blooded. While the two men look around the house, Emma has made her way outside, dragging Mark's dead body along with her. She makes her way over to the boat shed and severs Mark's arm so that she no longer has to carry the body around anymore. Not long after, Jimmy and Bobby come across the body, but Emma is no longer there. Unbeknownst to them, Emma is hiding directly beneath them. After seeing Bobby's face, Emma realizes that he is the same man who attacked her in the past. During their conversation, Emma learns that Mark had hired Bobby and Jimmy to come to the location, promising them access to the lake house's safe, which contains diamonds. However, since Mark is now dead, Bobby and Jimmy are searching for Emma, believing that she is the only other person who knows the combination to the safe. After the two men leave, Emma emerges from hiding and comes up with a plan. Jimmy examines the safe and informs Bobby that it requires both a combination and a fingerprint. Bobby then goes to retrieve Mark's body. Meanwhile, Emma drags the boat's fuel tank through the snow. She nearly gets caught when Jimmy exits the house to search for her, but she manages to make it inside the car garage and begins attempting to pump the fuel into the car's tank. Unfortunately, this process makes some noise, which prompts Bobby to go investigate. Emma hides under the car while Bobby walks around and slashes a tire to make sure Emma isn't able to leave with the car. Emma sneaks away from Bobby and exits the garage. She makes it back inside the house, while Jimmy is busy dragging Mark's dead body inside. Bobby, who is suspicious, follows closely behind her, and Emma ends up gets trapped in the staircase between Bobby in the basement and Jimmy in front of the door. The resourceful Emma presses the alarm button on the car key, successfully distracting Bobby and Jimmy and causing them to rush back inside the garage. Seizing this brief opportunity, Emma takes the time to mourn over Tom's death. Meanwhile, outside the house, Bobby explains to Jimmy that he refuses to let Emma walk out alive, remaining bitter about her involvement in his imprisonment due to a failed robbery attempt 10 years ago. They return inside the house and continue searching for Emma, knowing that she must be somewhere inside. Bobby goes upstairs to check, while Jimmy stays on the first floor. Upon hearing a noise in the attic, Bobby investigates and begins to search. She also manages to knock him down. She then takes his car keys, while Jimmy, who heard the commotion, rushes his way upstairs to find his brother unconscious. Emma hits Jimmy with a golf club, locks him inside of her. She then makes her way outside. Emma manages to reach for a phone and dials 911. Jimmy walks up to them and pleads for Bobby to give this up and get away before the cops get here, but Bobby is too stubborn. He proceeds to kick Emma unconscious. Emma wakes up to find that she is once again handcuffing her dead husband, with Bobby and Jimmy dragging the safe closer to her. She tries to tell them that she doesn't know the safe's combination, but Bobby, who doesn't believe her, begins to beat and subdue her. He threatens to stab her again, prompting Jimmy, the compassionate one, to try to stop him. However, Bobby shrugs him away. Jimmy then reaches for Mark's gun and points it at Bobby, as he is sick of all the violence. Emma suddenly voices that she will give them the combination as long as they uncuff her. Jimmy does as she says, and she proceeds to give them the combination to the safe. The safe finally opens, but unfortunately, it is empty except for an engraved metal piece that says the diamonds inside the safe have been converted into the necklace Emma is wearing now. Emma begins to panic, saying that she has tried taking off the necklace, but it won't open. The cold-blooded Bobby is absolutely ready to decapitate Emma just to get to the diamonds, but Jimmy refuses to let him. Bobby shoves Jimmy out of the way and tries firing the gun, but it isn't loaded. He then proceeds to scuffle against Emma, until Jimmy interrupts and the two brothers begin scuffling. Bobby accidentally ramming Jimmy's head to the clothes hanger, instantly killing him. While Bobby pauses in shock, Emma gets up and reaches for a knife nearby. Bobby then faces her and swears he would kill her. The two scuffle against each other again, but this time, Emma manages to hit him with a heavy tool. She makes her way to escape, with Bobby going after her again, but he's the one who chained to Mark this time. While Emma makes her way to the garage and gets inside Mark's car, Bobby closely follows, while Emma panickingly backs the car into the garage wall and then rams into the other cars. When she is unable to push the car, she drives forward and accidentally hits Bobby. However, the car slips on the snow and ends up crashing into the boat garage. Bobby, who is somehow still okay, struggles over to the crashed car with a murderous rage, but Emma is no longer inside. He finds Emma crawling her way through the frozen lake and follows her. They fight again and Emma manages to stab him, but the impact his body makes when it hits the ground causes the ice to break, and both of them fall through. They scuffle some more underwater, and Emma gets the knife out of his shoulder. She incapacitates him, finally escaping his grip. Emma then swims upwards and breaking her way through the ice. The movie ends with Emma laying over the frozen lake. She removes her wedding ring and tosses it into the water as faint police sirens echo in the background. The story concludes here. Subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to stay updated with our new videos.